pocket jacks, his standard mini raise, which obviously is a pretty wide range, anything from aces to probably king three offsuit. I want him in this pot, so it's knowing that, and I have position, I'm gonna make kind of a smallish re-raise. And not the best of flops for me, and he leads into me for about three-quarters of the pot. Um, his range is still pretty wide here. There's lots of draws. He could have queen jack 10 something, thinking I don't have anything. Obviously flush draws, things like that. So I'm just going to flat here and see what he does on the turn. And now pick up the open-ended straight draw, which is kind of not really necessarily an open-ended straight draw in a lot of ways. I mean, it's doubtful at this point with him leading that he has something like ace something. I mean, maybe he has ace 10. In that case, I have some somewhat reverse implied odds if I hit the queen. But if I hit a 7, um, I know I'm most likely good here, unless obviously he has king queen or whatever else. So it's kind of, or I'm sorry, even if he has that, it's not bad. But still now, so now his range, I don't know, is maybe two pair, king 10, flush draw, what have you. But I have to call still with how much money we have behind us. I debate even about like making a raise, but so now I hit a set, and he checks to me. With the action that's kind of happened, I'm going through and trying to figure out like what hand does he have? Can I squeeze value here? And at this point, I don't think he's actually going to check a queen to me, expecting me to bet. It's very likely I have something like king queen, or two pair, top pair, an over pair, anything like that, and I'm putting him on either king 10, maybe king X, maybe, king 9, maybe king 8 even, something along those lines. So I'm going to squeeze some value and make about, I think, a half-size pot bet. Yeah. And I get a call, and he shows 8-10. So, um, whoa, slow down here for a second. So, yeah, that hand, kind of an example of what his range is when he mini raises, and um, probably if he fired harder on the turn, I didn't pick up that flush, that straight draw with my pair, I might have considered folding because I don't think he's going to bet into me there twice. But um, anyways, it's always a fun result to hit a card, even though if it's a scary board on the river. And those are hands you definitely have to sit. I mean, I always advise when you get down to the river there, take some time and really figure out what is the most likely holding here, whether someone's going to be checking you, looking to push, da da da, so on and so on, so that you make sure that you're getting max value out of your hand. Because I believe there is a hand here later where I may have missed a little bit of value, but we'll have to take a look at it again. I haven't really looked at it yet. So 80 into 100 on that board. Um, I think that tends to be more of his range when he has a hand. I don't think so far he's mixing up his bets very well, but you can tell how much he's in love with the mini raise, obviously. Eight's very standard raise here, and you get a call. Notice player's a little bit on the tighter side. Uh, not the best of boards, but he just flats me in position. So I'm not necessarily expecting his range to be something like ace jack or whatever it could be, but I am going to check here and see what he does. When he checks behind on the turn, I'm going to make a somewhat larger size bet. So if he does have something like nines or something along those lines, I can get him out of the pot. Maybe even tens. Um, and any kind of suited connector or whatever. I don't think I really need to try and squeeze value. If he has something like 7-8, he's not going to be calling. So I just want to make a decent sized bet where I defined my hand. I don't think he's going to make a play. It's somewhat unlikely, obviously, that I'm going to check a big hand on this board, but I haven't seen him get too active or involved or anything like that, so I'm not really too worried about that. And he just folds. Back to back, nice hands, pocket tens here. And this, yeah, so flat call in position and a call out of position. I have obviously over prepare and a gut shot. I'm going to bet this. I need to pretty much define my hand. I get a raise right away to almost pot size, not quite, and fold here. So now at this point, either with the flat call in position, I'm raising someone early position. Either he has a set, maybe two pair, 6-7, maybe ace 8, 9-8, pocket eights are even a possibility, something along those lines, possibly even 4 or 5, a lot of these things. So versus the range that he has, and how much we have, I'm going to call and see the turn, because I also have a gut shot as well. Have the board pairs. I want to check to him and see what he does, and if he bets a decent amount here, I would definitely consider folding, but he checks behind, so right away, I think especially at these limits, it tells me a lot about a person's hand. I mean, he should know at this point that I probably have overpair. I mean, I pretty much defined my hand. I think if he if on this kind of board, that he should know he could probably get me off with a good bet here. But he checks behind, so now I'm definitely putting him on either he just decided to check to try and think he's going to squeeze value on the river if he has a set, or he does have some kind of like a draw 8, 8-9, something along those lines. So, and a great river for me, obviously. I debate a long time here, since I don't know too much about how this player plays, about whether I should check looking to check raise, because now obviously I have his 8, there's a lot of scare cards, or if he has something, if he has a set, or he has 7-6 or whatever else, all the money's going in, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm thinking about this situation, I'm focusing on what's the second best hand that I want to, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to get the most money out of, and that's like, some kind of 8 hand, 9-8, pocket eights, ace 8, whatever have you. And I debate on whether I should check raising or whatever, but I also think that my hand pretty much looks like I'm not going to be doing that with aces or kings, especially on this board. I'm not going to be looking at his flop raise, all the action that's happened. My hand kind of looks like either I have 9s, 10s, or whatever else. But if I check him, I am pretty sure he's going to bet, but it's more of a matter of whether he's going to call a check raise with it. That's what I'm really debating on. So since I'm not too sure, I like just to make close to a pot size bet. And again, if he does have something like 9s or 7-6, the money is going in. But so he calls and shows 8s. So that was very, very close play in my opinion. And I really kind of sat there for a little while trying to leverage which was going to yield the higher result, but